presidential race is critically close. Discover how 3 states tie into the election.
Voting machines are now being tested in the county courthouse. Find out how Delaware County prepares for the polls.
And coming up, art projects affecting the community. Find out how stained glass colors the hearts of students.
Students are starting to eat meals with Ball State Police. Find out how this will impact the safety for local students.
And I'm tracking rain and strong gusts from Hurricane Helene here in Muncie.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening, and thanks for being with us. I'm Ian Kowalski. Right now, Hurricane Helene is approaching landfall, and we are already beginning to see some of the effects here in Muncie and Delaware County. You can see some cloud cover over Muncie, as well as some rain coming up from the Ohio Valley and towards us here in the viewing area. Right now, Helene is looking to be a historic hurricane with winds up to 140 miles per hour and with pressure down to 941 millibars. It's quickly approaching landfall, heading up towards Florida and into eventually near the Ohio Valley, where it will continue to bring more rainfall to us here in Muncie. Right behind me, you can see Friday at 9 a.m. That's probably when the strongest of this rain is going to come here to Delaware County. And it's going to continue throughout the day, continuing to strengthen. You're going to see up to 40-mile-per-hour gusts, and potentially towards Richmond and the rest of our southern viewing area, rain maybe even up to 2 inches. You're going to want to stay tuned to find out a lot more about what Hurricane Helene will bring to us through rainy weekends, strong winds, and cool conditions. Kamara?
Thank you, Ian, for weather. Good evening. I'm Kamara Munn.
And I'm Emma Matlock.
According to a survey conducted by the Associated Press, only 44% of Americans have a great deal of confidence that the vote count will be accurate this November.
But here in Delaware County, the state of Indiana is taking steps to ensure there is no room for inaccuracy. NewsLink Indiana's Eli Grisham has the story.
Here in a hallway in the basement of the Delaware County Courthouse, a fundamental aspect in the security of this November's election is taking place: the testing of the voting machines.
We randomly select 5% of our machines to check and make sure they're programmed properly, that they vote properly, so we can feel assured when we put them into the field that the public is getting, the machines that are properly prepared.
Rick Spangler, the Delaware County Clerk, along with other members of the Delaware County Election Board and many other volunteers, gathered at the courthouse to carry out the test. The test consists of several different phases: making sure that all machines have no previous votes on them, putting in votes for every location and every candidate, and finally checking to see if all machines can properly send those votes to the tabulation computer. Spangler speaks on the importance of this test.
Well, this gives us actual visual proof. We can say the machines are good. We can, the past history proves that the machines are good, but we physically check them prior to every election.
This test is not just limited to the in-person voting that most think of. They also put emphasis into testing mail-in ballots from absentee voters. Steve Shamo, General Manager of Microvote, explains this process.
The second stage of the test was we have to test the mail ballot system, and so we have a test deck that also verifies that every candidate in the election's voting location is active and can receive votes from paper ballots and mail ballots that are sent in from the voters. So those were scanned also. At that point, we had 2 separate vote types that were tested and transferred into the voting system.
Using tests like this, the state hopes that the people of Delaware County and the entire state of Indiana can rest assured knowing that their vote is protected this November. In Muncie, Eli Grisham, NewsLink Indiana.
Now, the Delaware County Election Board hopes this lengthy and precise process helps to ease any worries that voters have regarding vote security.
A new study shows the presidential race is running across 3 critical states. According to the latest polling from Marist College, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are tied at 49% in North Carolina. In Arizona and Georgia, there's no clear leader either. Trump is at 50%, while Harris is at 49%, a near dead heat within each poll's margin of error.
Coming up, Muncie locals give a crack at a new artistic outlook. Find out how they showed off their creative side.
And the University Police Department reached out to students. Learn about the friendly fun they hosted for Ball State.
Dear moms and dads, What you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
Welcome back. Creativity is more than just arts and crafts. It's how we act as humans and how we express ourselves.
And for some, like the participants at the Cornerstone Center of the Arts Stained Glass Honeycomb Workshop, it's an opportunity to tap into something deeper. NewsLink Indiana's Demar Robinson has more.
So creativity to me is a way for me to focus like my inner self, my inner thoughts, my inner turmoil, happiness, whatever it may be, and put it into something that is pretty.
This philosophy is the driving force behind Kylie Jimenez's stained glass workshops that she teaches at the Cornerstone Center for the Arts in downtown Muncie, where students from all ages and backgrounds gather to learn the delicate art of stained glass making. The workshop, which spanned 2 days on September 11th and the 18th, offered participants a hands-on experience in creating their very own stained glass honeycomb patterns. And over the course of the workshop, guests learned essential skills from cutting glass to mastering the art of shaping intricate designs. Many participants who once doubted their artistic abilities shared how this class and others like it at Cornerstone helped discover a whole new side of themselves.
In school, I never did very well in art, so I didn't pursue it when I got older. So this was a chance to try something new, and there's no judgment or grades.
And I think that that's important to offer to people, especially adults in the world that we live in, because the world just needs more like creative, happy people. We need to figure out where to put all that pent up energy. And I think if people just like scribbled a little bit more, it would be a better place.
Stephanie Michaels, the new programs director at Cornerstone, emphasizes the inclusive nature of the workshops, where beginners and experienced artists alike can explore their creative sides.
But it's a chance for you to come in and try out some things without any sort of, competition or judgment.
And whether you're a seasoned artist or someone who's never picked up a brush, the classes offered at Cornerstone acts as a place to explore,
like sunset on
create, and express yourself in ways you never thought possible. In Muncie, Demar Robinson, NewsLink, Indiana.
Cornerstone offers a slew of different classes during the fall and spring seasons. At the end of each season, they hold a celebration where students can display their work in front of all the community.
Ball State University's police department hosted an event for students yesterday. NewsLink Indiana's Dylan Chestnut has the story.
Ball State's University Police Department is always looking for ways to interact with students on campus. The most recent one was held yesterday at Northwest Hall. The event was Meet and Eat. Events such as this make quite the impression on students.
It's nice to finally meet a face of the UPD instead of just seeing the cruisers going down campus.
These events also work to improve safety on campus. An example of this is underage drinking with students. To get the message across, the University Police Department hosted activities like drunk tricycling.
So we do several. This one is trike night, so you can put drunk goggles on. It simulates drunk driving to a degree. Ride trikes. Beer pong's a big thing on a college campus when you're of age, and so we allow you to put the drunk goggles on and see how you can play that.
Events like this can be seen growing on campus and improving the relationship between students and the UPD. One student at the event was an example of that.
Like today, me and my friends, we signed up for the lunch with the cop, and they came and they paid for our lunch at North Dining Hall, and he let us ask any question we wanted to.
To continue building the relationship with students, UPD hosted a personal self-defense course earlier today. In Muncie, Dylan Chestnut, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information about the University Police Department, go to Campus Security on the BSD website.
Your Friday commute home may be affected by Hurricane Helene. Stay tuned to find out more.
As a dad, every day is a challenge.
To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try to teach them.
When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
When tornadoes touched down in parts of our viewing area, NewsLink Indiana kept you informed days in advance.
You do need to be seeking shelter.
Marginal risk of severe weather.
And days after.
The roof has been ripped completely off of this house.
Giving you a first-hand look at the communities affected.
When your neighbors lose their house and you don't, how lucky you are.
The first to alert you of severe weather before it happens. NewsLink Indiana Weather.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember you threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know what? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back. Hurricane Helene has been upgraded to a Category 4 hurricane and is quickly approaching the states, and some cities are already seeing its effects. The Charlotte County Emergency Management in Florida says they are already seeing the impacts of the hurricane, as the area has been hit with heavy rainfall and storm surge. According to the agency's Facebook page, several roads in Charlotte County are flooded. Several videos show the roads in a neighborhood in Punta Gorda on the southern coast that has been flooded. Other videos provided by the agency show areas of a park also overrun with water. Several cars driving on a flooded street. Let's take a look at Hurricane Helene's progress right now as it approaches landfall in Florida. You can see 140 mile per hour winds possible, 941 millibars. That's very low for a hurricane, representative of a Category 4 in terms of that low pressure. It's going to move up towards the cinder, down towards up towards the Ohio Valley as those rains begin to influence Muncie and Indiana as a whole. Let's take a look at right now. You can see some light rainfall potentially towards the southern of our viewing area, down towards Richmond, a little bit in Winchester. Cloud cover right now, and that will continue throughout most of our evening as Hurricane Helene pushes north and brings rainfall and strong gusts towards us. Let's break that down to when that's going to start to arrive. Looking at tonight, 67 degrees at 11 p.m. You can see those clouds already moving into the area. But you can see right here, gusts up to 22 miles per hour, starting relatively early in this evening when you compare it to those rainfall. Going to start raining around 1 to 2 a.m. Those gusts are going to pick up with it up to 29 miles per hour gusts by 5 p.m. as that rainfall begins to become heavier into early morning on Friday. And we are, of course, under a wind advisory with those strong gusts up to 40 miles per hour expected in all of our viewing area from Marion all the way down to Henry. Now, that could potentially make some of your evening commute a little bit dangerous on the roads. Let's see how that's going to influence your ride home. We're going to get up to 26 mile per hour wind gusts early in the morning on Friday here in Muncie, 27 over in Anderson, coming from the east. Friday at 4 p.m., 39 miles per hour, 45 projected down in Richmond. It could be very dangerous if you're getting on the roads on the I-70 corridor, especially if you're coming up from 69 back towards Muncie or commuting to Indy. You might want to try to stay off the roads if at all possible tomorrow. Those gusts are going to go down, however, as we head into Saturday. Saturday morning, we're already starting to go way back down, 9 miles per hour, 15 in Anderson. By Saturday in the evening, those gusts and winds are not going to be as significant as they will be briefly Friday evening. Let's look at our rainfall totals. Those will correspond with those gusts. Around 1/3 of an inch here in Muncie Friday at noon. That's going to about double as we hit toward Saturday at 7 a.m. Almost an inch here in Anderson. In our southern viewing area is where you're going to expect the most. 1.5 inches in Richmond. That will continue up to potentially 2 inches in Richmond and down towards 70. Indianapolis will also see heavy rainfall. This entire weekend is going to be defined by what Helen brings to us. Look at our precision cast. You can see the whole area will experience some rainfall throughout Friday. Heaviest of that rainfall, again, corresponding with those heavy gusts. So you're going to want to try to stay off the roads, try to stay inside if at all possible Friday evening, although I know that can be difficult. Looking at our precision cast, it's going to get a bit more scattered as we head into Saturday. Saturday at 5 p.m., you're going to see lighter rains. Those cooling temperatures are going to hover around the mid-60s into upper to low 70s. As we're looking at Saturday and into Sunday, you're going to see, again, those low 60s back into upper 70s by Sunday. As we head into the rest of the week, you can expect similar conditions as you head into those next couple of days. Rainfall is going to continue as you look at the midweek, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. All see a chance of rain. It's going to be a lot lighter, and we are going to continue to see pretty pleasant temperatures as you head into early next week.
Yes, and it's very unfortunate to hear that Hurricane Helene has hit the U.S., and it's very important that everyone takes shelter and stays safe.
Yeah, very, very sad situation, but there's a lot more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Max Robson has a preview of sports.
Thanks, Emma and Kamara. A Yorktown runner is flying through the courses this season, almost like he was born for it. Plus, one Muncie soccer team is in their form of their lives and marching to wins. All this next in sports.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, amigo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, amigo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows. Ooh.
My lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Max Robson with sports. East Central Indiana may not be known as a hotbed for cross country, but a local duo is certainly turning heads. NewsLink Indiana's Jake Dickman heads to Yorktown to find out more.
I can say confidently that that is my coach and that is my dad.
In sports, few people have the same effect on players that coaches do. The only people who may come close to that level are parents. But for Yorktown sophomore Wyatt Turner, both are one and the same. That's because his dad, Jared Turner, is the head coach for Yorktown Cross Country, as he has been for the past 19 seasons, which led to Wyatt's introduction to running.
He's been around meets ever since he's been little, and we got pictures of him at 3 and 4 years old at meets like we're running today, and so he's just always been around the sport, and so I think he grew into it on his own, but he definitely was exposed to it a lot.
And grow into the sport he has. But it wasn't just an overnight thing for Wyatt.
I've been running for a while. I'd say maybe like 10 years or so, probably a little less, but yeah, for a really long time.
Yet, even after all these years, Jared wasn't quite sure he would be able to coach Wyatt.
Yeah, I was worried about it at first. I actually reached out to several coaching mentors that I had that I knew had coached their sons or daughters and asked them kind of what to expect and how to treat it, and they gave me some great advice.
But a balance was very quickly found for Jared.
Thankfully, we have a lot of good assistant coaches on our staff, and I kind of let the assistant coaches on that day be the main coach voice that he hears, and I'm kind of there as a dad on race day.
And on top of that, Wyatt feels that having his dad as his head coach gives him an advantage.
We're on the same wavelength a lot, which really helps in executing race plans and just getting to talk to him and debrief with him after races and even before.
It would certainly seem like it's an advantage too, as Wyatt has been lighting up the timing charts this season with a personal best of 15 minutes and 35 seconds. Although, Jared is quick to put all the praise on Wyatt.
He never ever goes through the motions, and I think that's what makes him special is like everything he does, whether it's a warm-up, a cool-down, an easy run, a hard run, it's always done with intention. And just from coaching as long as I have, I know that's rare.
And most importantly, Jared can't help but be a proud dad above all else.
Pure joy. I mean, it really is. As a meet day, I try to disconnect myself from the dad or from the coach role a little bit and try to think about from being a dad's perspective. And so I just get pure joy. I know it's something that he loves to do, and just pure joy watching him.
In Yorktown, Jake Dickman, NewsLink Indiana.
To keep it green, Muncie Central men's soccer looks to keep their hot streak alive. NewsLink Indiana's Kennedy Jones heads to the stadium for more.
In an exciting matchup against Yorktown, Muncie Central showcased exceptional teamwork and determination, securing a victory that marks their 6th consecutive win this season. Despite the rain pouring down during the match, the Bearcats didn't let the weather stop their high spirits. The performance on the field was nothing but great. Players hustled, communicated, and executed their game plan flawlessly. The team definitely showcased and proved that great teamwork can overcome any obstacle, even if the obstacle is rain showers.
Rain is one thing, playing in rain on turf is something completely different.
For head coach Shay Hill, the 6-game win streak means a lot more than just 6 W's in the column.
Hard for us over this win streak has just been keeping the emotions in check a little bit, playing our style of soccer, sticking to our game plan, doing the small things right. We like to say when the small battles, they add up into the larger victory. And the guys have been really good about sticking to the game plan and paying attention to the details. So, it's served us well so far. Hopefully we can keep the momentum going and take on Daleville here on Wednesday.
Senior center Marcus Pearson gives his insight to keep the victories rolling.
What we're doing and stay focused.
In Muncie, Kennedy Jones, NewsLink, Indiana.
So Emma, Kamara, I don't know about y'all, but I know for a fact a 15-minute 5K, that's 3 miles, 5 minutes a mile. That is insane. I could never.
Honestly, I'll just keep my treadmill sessions because that sounds a lot better to me than, was it a 15K?
15.
5 minutes?
5K.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's just a lot.
Definitely. I'm going to stick to the treadmill and the Stairmaster. Thank you, Max. Some new fluffy guests make their way to China, how they may influence the area.
And one final look at weather.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. 2 5-year-old giant pandas gifted from Beijing to Hong Kong landed at Hong Kong International Airport today. They are heading in royal fashion to the region's Ocean Park Animal Theme Park, all the way from a breeding center in mainland China's Sichuan province. The arrival of pandas An and Kiki has fans hoping to catch a glimpse of them, though they will have to wait at least a month as they will spend the next 30 days in quarantine in the southern Chinese city.
And today is National Pancake Day. Also known as flapjacks, johnny cakes, griddle cakes, or hot cakes, pancakes are a traditional breakfast favorite. Dating back more than 30,000 years, pancakes may be the oldest breakfast food in history. They're made with mixed batter, and the topping options are endless: butter, syrup, fruit, whipped cream, honey, or nuts. Celebrate pancakes today by whipping up a tall stack and sharing photos on social media with the hashtag National Pancake Day. Now, Ian, you were saying that we are going to receive some rainfall, and I did see some rainfall earlier this week. It was kind of off and on, and it is getting a little chilly outside as well.
Yeah, I wish I could make National Pancake Day a little bit less rainy. Unfortunately, I don't have that power. So there's going to be some rain continuing throughout the next couple of days, mostly on Friday and Friday evening, probably towards your commute time. That's going to make it a little bit treacherous to be on those roads. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, you see continual chances of rain. But as you get into that early next week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, that chance of rain is going to go down a lot. You're going to see temperatures hang around in those mid to up to low 60s and go into those mid to low 70s. You can see on the chart right here, it's going to get a little bit of sunny as you head to Wednesday and Thursday. Hopefully we're going to return to some much better conditions later next week.
That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to theballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.